Global Leader Training Center. Hello everyone, welcome to today's Excel tutorial. Today we are going to learn about basic formulas and functions. Formulas are really useful when you're calculating something in Excel. So this is really good when you're creating a sheet for accounting. First of all, we're going to start with addition. I'm going to try equal sign 500 plus 500. This will give us 1000. Let's try 650 plus 100, 750. Like this, you can just write the number, addition sign plus, and then another number to add them. If you want more numbers, you can add them like this. Next is subtraction. Subtraction works exactly same. Equals 200 minus 100. Equals 500 minus 100 minus 200. Like this, just using minus sign in between the numbers, you can subtract any numbers. Next is multiplication. Multiplication is a little bit different. Instead of this multiplication sign, we use star. Just simply press Shift 8 to add this star. Is equal to 8 times 4 will give us 32. 8 times 10, 80. Like others, you can just simply type 10 times 8 times 5 to use multiple numbers for multiplication. Next is division. Division is also different. Instead of division sign, we use dash. For example, let's say 10 divided by 2. This will give us 5. 20 divided by 4, 5. 55 divided by 1, 55. And multiple numbers can also be used. 55 divided by 5 divided by 2, 5.5. These are the most basic addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. We're now going to use more advanced way. Here in the profit, we have to minus expenses from income to get the profit. For example, equal sign 500 minus 250 will give us $250, the profit. But instead of typing this one by one, but when there's multiple numbers or lots of numbers, like there will be 20 income and 20 expenses, will you type it one by one yourself? No. We can use equal sign and then simply click on this cell minus the next cell to subtract it. Really useful way. Let's try again. 700 minus 190. This feature allows you to quickly type the formulas. Let's continue. Equal sign 505 minus 400 minus 310. 200 minus E. Like this, you can simply add them by just simply clicking on the cell. This works for all other numbers such as addition, division, subtraction, multiplication. 500 divided by expenses. Like this, you can simply do them. Maybe this time multiplication sign. Like this is really simple and efficient way of calculating. Next, and now, instead of typing one by one like this, let's erase this first. You can simply just drag this small green cube to expand it and autofill of the cells. We call this relative reference. As you see, A2, B2, A3, B3, this will be continued by one every time the cell goes down. But there's different one called absolute reference. which is used when we want to keep the cell and subtract others or add other or divide by other things, such as like in profit we'll write is equal to 9,500 minus 900. And if we continue this, it won't work because it will subtract from 0 to 400, 0 minus 110, and there will be errors like this. In this case, you can use absolute reference. To use absolute reference, it's really easy. Simply double click or press F2 to open this, and simply add a dollar sign in front of the thing you want. We want to keep this $A, yes, here, and then we want to keep this row A and column A, column 10. To do this, in front of A, I will write dollar sign, and in front of 10 also, I will write dollar sign. When you do this and extend this, you will see this won't change, but only the subtraction part will change. This is really great feature when you want to keep the budget and subtract from the budget. More advanced way of using this can be adding income and expenses for it, such as is equal to A17. I will simply add dollar sign in front of them. And then plus income minus expenses. Enter. And when you continue this, you'll see that both of them works perfectly. Now let's try a more complex one. So saved money plus income minus expenses. Now the saved money will be equal to profit. And now we take this down. And each values will be transferred to each this profit to money saved. So you can use this when you're calculating the total money used and total money left from your accountant. Next, we're going to try different ones. There will be income, 2 incomes, and 2 expenses. So we're also going to use a different method, functions. Functions, there are different functions. Sum, which is same as addition, which adds numbers in a range. Average, which calculates the average of numbers in a range. Min or max, which finds a minimum or maximum value in a range. Count, which counts the number of cells containing the numbers. So let's try is equal to sum. Make sure all the letters are in capital letter. Sum, and then bracket. And then just simply you can click it and press this 2 dotted one and select the next one. Or rather than this, you can just simply drag it and press enter. And this will calculate from A32 to B32. So this is really useful when you're calculating multiple numbers in a range. Like this, I will just do this. Total expenses will be is equal to sum. So I will just simply change these expenses into negative form. I'll just add negative. Negative 75, negative 150, negative 300, negative 150, negative 50, negative 50, negative 150, negative 50, negative 200, 40, like this. And then total expenses will be equal to sum. And then I will just add these two, enter, drag it, and the total expenses will come out. And profit, for the profit, I write sum. And I can do this in 2 ways. Either I select this total income and total expenses, or I just do this to income 1 to expenses 2. I'll just simply do income 1 to expenses 2. And you'll see that profit appears like this. Now let's move on to average. Just simply I'll write here, average is equal to average, and select the range you want to calculate the average. For me, I would just take the average of profit simply from G32 to G37 and press enter, and you'll find its average. So how it finds average is it adds all the numbers in the profit and divide by the number of values. So simply divide by 7. And next is minimum and maximum. Minimum, so is equal to min, and select the range, and this will find the minimum value here. And maximum, max, and then select the range, and this will find the maximum value. Next is count, is equal to count, and then simply write the bracket and select the range, and this will count how many numbers there are, how many cells you've selected. These functions are fundamental for the data analysis and are widely used in various applications, so never forget, and this is really important. Next, we're going to learn about nested functions. Let's erase this profit. And instead of profit, we're going to do in a different way. We're going to use a nested function. Nested function, you can nest functions within functions for more complex calculations. For example, sum these two incomes, sum these two incomes plus sum and these two incomes again. This will also give you the profit. Basically, it's adding this A32 to B32 and plus sum C32 to D32. Really useful. So for example, when you have total will be 200 plus 2, number will be 100 plus 200 plus 300, and the average will be is equal to average, select this 3, and now here we can do like is equal to sum from 100 to 300 plus average 100 to 300. Simply it adds like this, but instead of plus you can also do sum to 300 minus sum. You can do for whatever you want, from addition to multiplication and division. Simple. Now let's learn about the logic functions, which allows you to perform a logical test and return the value. Such as the first one is if, gives true when the statement is correct, and false if the statement is wrong. For example, is equal to if and then profit 80 is greater than 100. And simply add a comma and write the output you want. You can simply do the true and false, but make sure the statement when it's true comes first and statement when it's false comes back. Simply do it. It's first, so it will give us first, but if you change the output, like maybe instead of true, greater, here smaller, like this, it will give us smaller. How about let's try if 99 is smaller than 100, give out smaller and larger. Like this, it'll give us smaller. Like this, the if statement gives the output when it's true and false. Next is AND, OR, and NOT. This combines multiple conditions. For example, is equal to AND 300, and maybe if 300 is smaller than 100, and A34 again is greater than 100 and then smaller than 400, it should give us like this. You can do it. It will give us true because both statement is correct. I will give you a little tip while you're using AND, OR, and NOT. AND gives true when both conditions are true. Like for example, if in this case, if the 300 is larger than 100 and smaller than 400, it will give us true. But if any of the condition does not match, it will give us false. And now for OR 300 is greater than 100 and 300 is smaller than 100. For this, it gives a true like this. OR statement gives true when any of the conditions are matched and gives false when all the conditions are wrong. And NOT gives opposite values, such as if 300 is smaller than 100, it gives us true because actually it is false, but NOT gives the opposite value, so false became true. For example, if 1 is greater than 2, of course it isn't, but if it's put into the NOT function, it will give us true because it's false. So false becomes true and true becomes false. And now you're going to learn how to work with tables. When you've created a simple sheet, you may want to convert them into more professional looking tables. To do that, just simply drag to select the cells you want to format, go to Data, and then press Form Table and Range. If you click on this, you'll see a new window open, and here you can select the range of the tables. If you already selected, you can just directly press OK, but if you didn't select, you can just simply drag again to select it. Press OK. And now, Power Query Editor is open. Just simply I've closed it because that's too hard for you to try. And here you'll now see that there's table format now. And now you can customize it as much as you want. First of all, you can choose the table styles, the colors of it, like maybe I like this green one, so I'll use green, dark green, table styles, medium 4. Okay, great. And then you can also choose, if you want, you can also choose the table style options, such as header row, total row, banded rows, first column, last column, banded columns, and filter button. I will leave the header row and I'll add a total row right below it. Okay, great. I will not touch any other settings. Great. And if you want to resize the table, simply press resize table and you'll be able to add a new range like this. I'll leave it as it is by pressing Ctrl Z. Using this way, you can simply create tables with a professional lookings. Now let's move on to charts. To create a chart, go to Insert and go to Charts section, and you'll see there's different options such as recommended charts and bar chart, line graph, pie chart, and scatter graph. There's lots of charts, and you can choose the one you want. I'll try recommended chart, and it gives us some of the recommended charts you can use. I'll press cancel, and let's try one by one. Let's try by this column chart or bar chart. Simply press on it, and you can choose which style of the chart you want. 2D column, 3D columns, 2D bar, or 3D bar. The example appears right here, so you can see it and choose the ones you want. I'll try with 2D column. And when you create it, you'll see there's a chart design and format. Here at the chart design, you can choose the design of the chart, such as like if you want to add a chart element, if you want a quick layout, change colors, and chart styles. And you can even change the settings of the rows and columns and datas. I want press on add chart element to add some element in the chart, such as axis titles, chart titles. I'll add an axis title, primary horizontal, and this will be named $505. So it's income, and I'll add primary vertical. This one will be expenses. I'll change it to capital letter. And you can also change the chart title, income, and expenses. And next is quick layout, which allows you to quickly change the layout of your chart. Like this. I like this one, so I'll go with this one. It's really cool. And if you change it, you'll have to rename the axis titles again. So make sure you check it. I'll just simply name it money. And next is change colors. This allows you to change the color of your chart, the main colors, most of them like gradient if you want. And if you want like black and white, you can use them too. Just simply find the one that you really want. I think I'll go with this green one because it matches our table. And next is chart styles, and this allows you to quickly choose the pre-formatted style of the chart. I like this black one. And next is switch row and column. This allows you to switch the rows and columns like this. I'll leave it as it is because it will be too complicated if you change it. And next is select data, and this allows you to choose the data you want to use. If you don't want profit, you can uncheck the box. If you want it, just simply press it again. Next is change chart type. This allows you to directly change the type of the chart. We'll use this later, and let's move on to move chart. This allows you to move the location of the chart between the sheets. I'll leave it like this, and let's resize it by dragging the corners of it. I want to move it here. You can also change the colors of the text by simply clicking on it and going to home, and then like others, you can format them. Great. Next is format. This allows you to format your chart in more professional ways, such as you can add insert shapes, such as like circle. I'll put it here, and maybe one more circle, and go to format again, and let's draw one more circle inside. Like this, you can format them, and you can also choose the shape styles, such as like green thingies, the ones you want. Great. And you can also change your styles, the ones you want. Maybe let's try this subtle effect green accent 6. I like this. Okay, great. And you can also choose the shape fill, shape outline, and shape effects. I will just want this to be a little soft bevel, maybe like this. Add a bevel. Great. You can also change the word art styles. You can choose the one you want. Like maybe I will choose the white colored ones. I'll use this and I'll just resize this a little bit larger. Great. And there's also text fill and text outline and text effects. I'll start with text fill. This allows you to change the fill of the text. Text outline allows you to change the outline color of the text. If you don't want outline, you can press no outline. And you can also add more outline colors if you want. There's also weight, the pixel of it, and dashes. I'll just leave them empty. And next is text effects. This allows you to add an effect to the text, such as like outer, reflection, glow, and much more. And you can also change the arrangement, selection pane, arrangement by pressing align, and if you want to snap to the grid or not. This is really useful feature if you want your chart to be clear and on the position. Also, you can directly change the height and width, the size. And this was the bar chart. And now going back to chart design and pressing change chart type, you can simply change it to the ones you want. Which is like, maybe let's try income and expense this one. Click it and press OK. And you'll see with the same format, same designs, just the chart will change. Like this, it changed to line graph. Let's try high. And then bar. And then area chart. XY scatter chart. Radar chart. And custom column and line graph. Now you've learned about the chart, let's learn about the shapes. Let me just move this. I'll just resize this a little bit. And I'll go down here. And let's add a shape. Simply going to insert and pressing shapes. This allows you to add multiple shapes you want, such as circle. But make sure the size of the shape is based on the cell size. If you change the cell size like this, the size of the shape will also change. Same like the chart, there's also a shape format which allows you to change the format of it. You customize it in your needs. And you can press edit shape to change the points and customize your shape more effectively. I'll try creating on a heart. This much is enough, I think. Great. And let's insert one more shape. Plus icon maybe. Great. And next is inserting an image. Simply press on pictures and you can choose if you want this image to be in the cell or over the cell. I want it to be in the cell, and you can choose where to insert the picture from, such as this device, stock image, or online pictures. I'll choose stock image, and you'll be able to find the stock image of the Excel. Let's try this cow. Press and insert, and you'll see inside the cell this cow appears. You can resize the size of the cell, change its size. Great. And next is icons. This allows you to add an icons. There's a lot of it, so you can use them as much as you want. Paste it and press insert to add it.